Everyone who starts lifting asks this, and almost nobody gets a straight answer. How much muscle can you actually build in a single year? The answer matters more than most people realize, and not for the reason you think. Most people do not quit the gym because progress stopped completely. They quit because progress never matched what they were promised it would be. So here are the honest numbers and where they actually come from. There is no single definitive study that settles this question. What exists instead are two respected models, built by coaches rather than laboratories. The first came from Lyle McDonald, a physiologist and author. He assembled it from published literature plus decades of watching real people train. For a man doing everything right, year one gives roughly 20 to 25 pounds of muscle. That is a genuine transformation. People who have not seen you will notice. But here's the part nobody warns you about in that first year. It is the best year you will ever have, and it never happens again. Because the shape of what comes next is the whole story here. Year two drops to roughly 10 to 12 pounds, half of what you just did. You are training harder than ever and getting half the return. Year three drops again to roughly 5 to 6 pounds across 12 months. At this point, most people cannot see their own progress in the mirror. And then year four arrives, and this is where it stops being encouraging. 2 to 3 pounds. That is the entire year of work. Sit with that for a second, because it is genuinely difficult to accept. 12 months of disciplined training, perfect food, consistent sleep, for less muscle than the weight of a bag of sugar. And it stays roughly that slow for every single year after. So is one coach's model enough to base your whole outlook on? A second model exists, built independently by nutrition researcher Aragon. His works differently. It scales to your body size rather than fixed pounds. Beginners gain 1 to 1.5% of their body weight per month. Intermediates get 0.5 to 1%. Advanced lifters 0.25 to 0.5%. And here is why that matters. The two models land in nearly the same place. For a 150-pound beginner, Aragon's numbers produce 18 to 27 pounds in year one. Two people working separately, arriving at almost identical answers. One adjustment matters here, and the fitness industry usually forgets it entirely. Women typically gain at around 50 to 70% of those male rates. Now the caveat, because this video would be dishonest without it, these are heuristics built by experienced coaches. They are not peer-reviewed findings. Here is the proof. Sources cannot even agree on McDonald's own first-year figure. Some list it as 20 to 25 pounds. Others report 10 to 12. That is a very large disagreement about a very confidently stated number. But the exact figure matters far less than the shape of the curve. And every model agrees on that shape completely. It falls, and it falls fast. There is one more confusion that wrecks how people judge themselves. Muscle gained and scale weight gained are not remotely the same number. Adding 25 pounds on the scale does not mean 25 pounds of muscle. Water, glycogen, and fat make up a substantial share of every bulk. So what does an entire lifetime of lifting actually add up to? Over 8 to 12 years with excellent genetics and near perfect execution. A natural man might add roughly 35 to 50 pounds of lean mass total. With average genetics and good consistency, closer to 25 to 35 pounds. There is also a ceiling measure that puts a hard limit on all of this. It is called FFMI, and it simply adjusts lean mass for your height. The natural ceiling sits around 25 for men and 21 to 22 for women. Competitive natural bodybuilders average around 23.4 at peak contest condition. These are people whose entire lives revolve around this single number. Professional physique athletes routinely sit between 27 and 32 instead, which is not a harder version of the same goal. It is a different category. So the bodies you scroll past are not the target you failed to hit. And honestly, these small numbers are much better news than they sound. 20 pounds of muscle in 1 year genuinely changes how you look. And 2 pounds a year, repeated across a decade, is a serious physique. That is what impressive actually looks like. Slow and stubbornly consistent. Nobody quits when they know that was the deal from the very beginning. So how many years have you actually been training? Tell me below, and subscribe for more honest breakdowns like this.